Alright guys, so it goes without saying that I am so happy that My Hero Academia is back. Every time I watch an episode that just kind of lights a fire under the butt, right? It just gets you deep under. It lights that fire and it just kind of reinvigorates my love into My Hero Academia. Now, with the recent shift and focus for the first few episodes to Shinso, he's been kind of like a staple character for quite a while. Ever since we had the tournament that happened where he was kind of exposed to us before when he fought Deku, I have been very interested in Shinso himself. I even have a Funko of him in the back, and I'm so excited that they decided to focus more on him here. Now, as they have continued to kind of build that focus towards him, they've been kind of fleshing him out and building him out as a character. Now, we all knew that the brainwashing ability is what his quirk is and what he has. And we kind of knew what it did because of the festival that took place in the fight between Deku. But now we've been able to see between like the end of last episode and now fully in this episode that his new equipment that he has, not only the bands or the bandages that he has that he's gotten gifted and he's learned how to use from Aizawa, but also the voice changer box where he's able to imitate anybody's voice. And thankfully this episode really fleshed out on what his power is and how it worked, is we found out that his brainwashing ability, the actual way it works, there was speculation that I had, I don't know if you guys had it, but the speculation, I had a lot of different things of how it worked, but long story short is, he needs to be able to put his intent behind his voice, and when someone else hears and reciprocates with a reply or a response, then at that point his quirk activates, and that's how it works. So now with the voice changer box, he was able to imitate Shimazaki the Beast. He was able to imitate the Beast's voice and take over, kind of the battle and shift the tides. And he was also able to kind of change his voice to imitate anybody. So when they hear it and then they respond, which we saw a couple of times in this episode where we saw him take advantage of that, then he's able to brainwash whoever he wants. And he was very specific with how his brainwashing ability works, which we're going to have to kind of keep in mind as we move into the next couple episodes when his fight with Deku and their clash kind of come into play, is that he doesn't think, he thinks it's impossible to be able to control multiple people. Now, will he grow during these fights? I'm thinking yeah, but we'll see if that happens or not. But again, this episode was really, really awesome for fleshing him out, and ultimately Team A, so Class A, won the battle. Now, they won the battle through a lot of ties and tribulations, but they were able to kind of put up together a plan between Asui and Kaminari of how they were going to be able to kind of trick Class B into getting brainwashed and into all of that, and ultimately be able to take advantage of it. They were able to take advantage of the vines and being able to pull Kaminari in. They were able to take advantage of Kaminari's tracking his disc that tracked to track the beast. And they were able to kind of take advantage that they were going to be so worried about Shinso's voice-changing ability that when it came into play and one of his teammates was actually crying out to him, he was like, I am not being brainwashed. It ain't happening again, Chief. And because of that, that was their undoing, and that allowed Class B to get completely wiped out. Again, I think Asui was the star of the show, but again, the focus was on Shinso very much. We also were able to see kind of Kaminari flex his electric muscles as well, which I was very excited to see him having more control over his electricity. That's always a very nice thing to see. And I love that we got to see Asui kind of be pulled in to the focus as well, because with Asui, we were able to see her toxic goo, her toxic slime be spread around people. And when the beast was trying to track them, that allowed his senses to be thrown off and think that there was 3 of her kind of everywhere. So overall, guys, I mean, I love this episode a lot. I think this was a freaking fire-ass episode, like no joke. I love being able to see Asui. She's one of my favorite characters in the anime. I love being able to see her shine and really show off a lot of her different adaptability and her growth as a character, and I thought that was a really cool thing to see. Now, obviously, Shinso, he was a badass, and he's finding himself this season And I think that's really cool. But I love to be able to see a lot of the other members of Class A have their time to shine as well. The one thing that I really want to happen as we move forward in this season, you know, after all of this Class 1A versus Class 1B stuff is done, Shinso is going to join one of the classes. You know, he's going to join either 1B or 1A, and I'm hoping that he is able to join Class 1A. I'm hoping that he becomes a teammate, because we saw already Deku's wheels were spinning upstairs with maybe Shinso can be a key to draw out All For One, because he was the key before when they fought in the festival. He was able to draw out All For One at that point. So I'm hoping that they become friends. I'm hoping he gets integrated into not only the hero course, but with 1A specifically. I'm really excited about that, and I really hope that that's the direction that they go as we move along in the season. The other thing too I'll touch on before we wrap up today is next episode is going to be focusing a lot more on 1B. We saw that Tokoyami is going to be kind of the focus of next episode, with Dark Shadow being able to flex. Deku said something very interesting at the end. He said, Tokoyami is going to be able to show his true power for the first time in Japan, and I was like, what does that even mean? Which means that he's going to be able to like show his controllability over Dark Shadow. I think that's going to be really badass next episode. And we're also going to be able to see a few other characters that just haven't had their time to shine for Class 1B as well. You know, we haven't really had a chance to see them that much, and there's a couple of in there, like the girl who can make her hands really big and stuff, that I'm really excited to be able to see. There's a guy with like the white hair and the black face. He kind of reminds me of 𝐜𝐴 from Hunter x Hunter, but instead, basically has like the same design almost. So I'm interested to see what his quirk is, and I'm interested to see on how that battle ensues. So make sure you guys come back next week for another review. Also, guys, we are trying a new format with My Hero. We have kind of axed the reactions, not only for copyright reasons, because YouTube kind of hates us posting to My Hero stuff, but secondarily, there wasn't a lot of engagement on those videos. There wasn't a lot of people kind of clicking in. And, if anybody doesn't watch a video, I always have that in the back of my head. It's for a reason. The content must suck, or people are just not interested. So let me know in the comments below, guys, if you guys want reactions to come back. And if you don't care, just don't say anything, that's fine. And let me know what your guys' thoughts were on today's episode in the comments down below, and tell me what you guys think is going to happen as we move forward. And is Shinso going to join Class 1A? Tell me what you guys think. Alright guys, I've been Dom from the Otaku Room. Click these videos over here, guys. These are what YouTube says is best for you. And we'll catch you guys next week for My Hero Academia Season 5, Episode 5. 5-5. Peace out, guys.